Hi, I'm Nicole, and I'm here to tell our Ashworth student stories. And today we are meeting Carren Itza-Montejo. Hi, Carren. Nice to meet you.
Hi.
So, a little background about Carren is that you started your associate degree in business management in 2009, but you stopped with one final to go. However, you re-enrolled in 2021. You took your final in March of that year, and you not only finished, but you finished with a 3.95 GPA and in the Delta Epsilon Tau Honor Society. You then went on, I read, to enroll in two more diploma programs, finishing those with honors as well.
Yes.
And now you're pursuing your bachelor's in business administration?
Yes.
Fantastic. So we read your story on your Graduate of the Year submission, and we're really inspired. Your story, I think, resonates with a lot of people. And I think for me personally, it was very inspiring, being a mom also. And I don't know if you picked up on this yet or not, but the reason why we contacted you is because you are a Graduate of the Year finalist.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So congratulations. How do you feel?
Oh my gosh, I wasn't expecting that. Very surprised, but very honored. Thank you.
Well, you definitely deserve it. Everything that we read with your application, it really was amazing. And you're a very, very inspiring person. So, as I mentioned, let's, go back to the beginning. You stopped before your last final. Do you feel okay sharing why you stopped and then what prompted you to decide to start back up again?
Sure. Okay. In 2009, I started the associate's program, and personal problems in my life kind of got in the way. And so I kind of had to take a step back by the end of 2010, when I was supposed to finish. I had two kids. I had a 3-year-old and a 7-year-old at that time. And unfortunately, my relationship with their dad was on the rocks. And then we had to move, and then my work situation changed. And so my priorities got a little shifted. And so I had to take a step back, but it was always something that haunted me that I didn't finish because I was so close and I walked away. And so I knew at some point when life was better that I wanted to do it again.
That's fantastic. And I think that that's something that a lot of people can relate to because, we all end up, no matter what walk of life I think people come from, a lot of people hit bumps in the road or things that they completely did not expect. And you do have to reprioritize. But it's really amazing that, that you never lost sight of what your goal was and you came back to it regardless of, anything that happened in between there. So what about that time, 2021 made you decide to re-enroll?
By that time, the kids were older. I had a better paying job. I was happy in life. I had the time. Life wasn't so chaotic anymore. So I figured it was the best time to do it.
That's awesome. And speaking of being a mom, so being a mom in the best of circumstances is really hard, especially if you're balancing work and school. So you mentioned you're a single mom. So how that trying to juggle everything and try and find, a good balance between work and family and school?
Well, now it's easier because I have 2 boys. They're older, they're self-sufficient. They know that this is what I want to do and it's my time now. So they just understand. Like I go to work, I come home, I get on my computer and I study. And when they see me doing that, they really don't bother me. And when I'm done, then we get family time. We see what everybody needs and I take care of it. So it's working out right now.
That's great. And it sounds like your kids are really understanding and very flexible and really respectful towards their mom that, they give you that time and that space. Do they help out around the house? Do they pitch in, make it a lot easier on you?
Yes, they do. They help out a ton. So
that's great.
Team effort over here.
That's wonderful. So definitely a big congratulations to them too. And I'm sure they're really, really proud of you. What were some of just in the typical coursework for your program, what were some of the things that you found to be difficult or challenging? How did you get over those? And what were some of the things you liked best about your program?
Which one of the programs?
Oh, that's a good point. I'm sorry. All of them. I mean, I guess specifically, the associate degree, but even now, going into your bachelor's degree, what are some issues you face, like trying to balance, the coursework? Is there anything that you find particularly difficult and how you kind of manage that? Do you take out, do you have a schedule that you set for yourself, or, like a to-do list, a task list, anything like that?
Well, what I've done is every day I make it a priority to study at least for 2 hours a day, regardless of what my schedule is. Sometimes it's late at night. Sometimes I go to sleep if I'm tired, and I wake up early in the morning, and I do it before I start work. But I make sure that I take 2 hours every day to do it. On the weekend, it's a free for all. I can go for hours because that's my time as well. What I found very challenging, you have to be motivated. Self-motivated is what I had to do, because, it's not like you have a teacher there teaching you. You have to read and understand. I found myself many times Googling stuff or going on YouTube to try to get more understanding of something. Ashworth, however, have the staff that's there to answer your questions and email you back if you get stuck or if you need help with something. So that's been very helpful as well. And I've taken advantage of everything.
That's great. I think that's an issue that a lot of people worry about, maybe when they're thinking about enrolling in programs, especially, with an online program like Ashworth offers, is that I think they sometimes worry that there isn't a support system there. And it is hard because you do have to be very disciplined in that, you don't have a set class time that you have to log in by or anything like that. So, you kind of have to set those parameters up for yourself. But then I think people worry that, you're entirely on your own, but the resources are there and available. Did you find it easy to access them, or did it take you a little while to find, what resources were available and to use them?
If I don't understand something, I call. And once I call and I tell them what the matter is, then they direct me on what to do, and then I do that. So they're just a phone call away.
That's great. So you also said in your application that, finishing the associate degree kind of lit a fire under you, it lit a spark. And so you decided to then go on and pursue the 2 diploma programs, which I have as payroll clerk and bookkeeping. Mm-hmm. So what was that little spark that you felt that made you decide to continue on?
I know this might sound weird, but I get highs from getting A's and doing good. I'm an overachiever. So after I got my degree, it just felt so good. And I'm like, you know what? If I didn't stop for those 11 years, I would have already had my bachelor's and probably be going on to my master's. So I said, you know what? I have to do this. I know what I want to do. And so I just said, I'm going to keep going. And that's what I did.
Oh, that's great. How long between the diploma programs did it take for you to enroll in the bachelor program?
Immediately after graduation.
Oh, that's
I didn't wait any time.
That's wonderful. So have you been able to apply, the skills and the tools that you learned and the information that you learned between your associate and the diploma programs into your current job?
Some of it I have, for sure.
That's great. And so what would you say to somebody who's kind of on the fence about going back to school, especially if it's been a while for them? A lot of people do get nervous and a little bit afraid. Totally understandably, it's a big transition to make, especially because, it does affect your life and kind of the social order of things and what you're used to. And it can be intimidating. What would you say to somebody who's experiencing those fears or those nerves or feeling like maybe they can't do it?
I would say to just go for it, not to be scared. I had those thoughts as well, but it's going to be the best feeling in the world when you complete it, because you're going to make your children proud, your loved ones proud, your family proud. You know, they're going to ask questions. You can motivate somebody. Like, I've seen my son get a lot of motivation from seeing me going back to school. And so that in itself pushed me to just keep going. So it's very self-rewarding as well. And I just think they should go for it.
Oh, that's awesome. Do your sons have plans to continue on after high school to continue their education?
One for sure is going to. He is just like me. He's a freshman in high school, and he's already doing honors class and AP classes as a freshman. So I want him to go as far as he wants to go, and I'm going to push him because I told him you have the brain to do it.
Oh, that's so nice to hear. And it definitely, I mean, I think you're setting a really, really great example for both your sons to see that and to, you know that it is possible, it is achievable. You know, it takes hard work, but it's definitely there, it's available. So what are your plans after you finish up your bachelor program?
After I finish my bachelor program, that's when I want to go into the field that I'm studying for. I kind of wanted to make sure my resume had my all my degrees on it and all my diploma programs. By the time I'm finished with Ashworth, I want to have a third diploma and 2 degrees. So that's what I'm shooting for. And I want all of it to be on my resume. And then I'm going to go get the job that I want.
Oh, that's awesome. I feel so excited for you hearing this. Like, I can't wait to see how your story plays out. I definitely think, that it's just a matter of when rather than if, because you are so motivated and so hardworking, obviously. What do you have, like, an ideal job in mind that you would want to aim for?
Something in finances. That's why I'm doing, to be honest, the reason I picked those specific diploma classes is because my tax lady, she and I was talking while I was doing my taxes, and I told her what I wanted to do. And she was telling me about this company that I can work for. And so she's like, get a certification in payroll, get a certification with QuickBooks, Excel, bookkeeping. And she kind of gave me the direction. And then when I found the bookkeeping program at Ashworth that offered a complete lesson on Excel and on QuickBooks. So I was able to knock out all that she recommended for me to do with that program. And so she told me to do one more, which is taxes. So that's my next diploma that I'm going to earn is the tax one. I did the payroll and the bookkeeping. And then obviously I'm going to have my 2 degrees. So I want to work in something in finances for sure.
Oh, that's so exciting. And I think people sometimes forget that we have these diploma programs that, it doesn't have to just be an associate degree or a bachelor degree. You can, and you don't have to take just one. You can stack these certifications that way,
Right.
Maybe you already have a degree and you want to have more experience, or you are looking for a specific role and you want to just up your credentials a little bit to give you that extra, edge, in anyone else you may be competing with for a position. And those are there. Did you find with the diploma programs, you said, it already had everything in there on how to use Excel and QuickBooks. So did you find it to be a very comprehensive program in that, like, most of what you needed, or at least that you thought you might need, was in that program itself?
Yeah, for sure. Because in high school, I did a little bit of accounting. So the bookkeeping course literally started you back over from the beginning and takes you all the way to the end. So when you complete that, you're going to have a pretty good idea of doing everything as according to the books for a business or a company or for you, even yourself. So you go from learning how to do debits and credits all the way how to prepare financial statements. It's a very detailed program. I enjoyed it. I learned a lot. I remembered a lot going over the course, and I learned some new things along the way too.
Oh, that's great. Are you able to use that in, like, your everyday life, like tax season? Because I know I'm the type of person that I am terrible with all of that. I'm like, I need an accountant or somebody to do this for me. I get very overwhelmed. Maybe I should be taking this class.
I get a lot of questions from my family and friends pertaining to their taxes and stuff. And I said, as much as I want to give you advice, go find legal help. Certified professional. I just, studied it, but for sure, it's helpful to have that knowledge for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like it must be very empowering that, if you do have to go to somebody else to do these things, you have a frame of reference to know what they're talking about and what they're saying. Because I know sometimes when I go in, like you said about your courses, like I have to Google stuff. Like, I don't know what this means, so I need to look it up. So it must feel very good to go in there and just have that knowledge and that background to know like, oh, okay, like this makes sense to me.
Yes, for sure. Yep.
Oh, that's great. So what would you recommend about Ashworth College to somebody who may be interested in a course with Ashworth, and might be considering it, but they're not really sure if they want to take that step? Like, what did you find to be beneficial and why you think it was worth it?
Well, Ashworth has so many options. It's not just the degrees, but the diploma. If you're passionate about jewelry design, mechanics, nursing, medical transfer, there's so many options. And if there's something you're passionate about, look it up. See if they have a program that is relatable to what you want to do. And sometimes when they offer the program, they offer you the test afterwards and makes you stand out even more. So that's another asset, I think, of doing a career program with them, because I can do the certified bookkeeper's exam for free now that I finished the bookkeeping diploma program at Ashworth. So I think it's very beneficial and they should just try it.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm so glad to hear it. And just on a final note, how does it feel to be a Graduate of the Year finalist? And what does that mean to you, especially, having, a lot of issues to overcome and to get past an 11-year hurdle? How do you feel after all of that to be named a finalist?
It feels awesome. I'm elated. I'm ecstatic. I can't even show you how I'm feeling inside, but it feels really, really good because for the longest time, I thought my hard work was just for me, but to know now that somebody noticed it. And I worked really, really hard because, like I said, I'm an overachiever and I set these goals for myself that I wanted to keep, and I'm accomplishing them one by one. And it feels pretty good. And the fact that my sons could say, "Mom, I'm proud of you." They see that I'm studying and at this age. And I said, you know what, age is nothing but a number. You can accomplish anything. So the fact that they're inspired by me, they look up to me and being a role model for them, it feels pretty good. I'm very, very excited. I'm very, very happy. So thank you guys.
Well, we're really proud of you too. And that's so nice. I feel like, as great as all of it is, probably just to, have your sons be proud of you. That's probably the best reward. But now you have something else to put on your resume that you're a Graduate of the Year finalist. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much.